My name is Jake Stillman, and this is my home studio here in Petaluma. I'm giving you this presentation from my home studio because right now we're dealing with COVID and I'm not able to be on campus very often. But here in Petaluma, I have a couple of isolation booths at my home studio. I've got some gear here that you can see. I've got my rack of preamps over here and a good collection of microphones, and able to do overdubbing and mixing and mastering here from my home studio. And I also work at a commercial studio in Santa Rosa where I do larger tracking sessions in a multi-room studio with a big console. Between that and this, I'm pretty busy with recording projects and doing that pretty much full time. And then of course I teach part-time at the junior college, which is a real pleasure for me because I love sharing my passion and my love for music production with people that are also really excited about it. I teach 2 classes here at the Petaluma campus. The brand new class that I'm gonna start teaching in the fall is the music business class, which is focused on how to run a record label, music promotion, music production, licensing, contracts, everything that you kind of need to know to start and run your own music business. And then the other class that I teach is the music recording class, where we actually get bands into the studio, mic everybody up, and learn about microphones, mic placement, production techniques, mixing, a little bit about mastering, and just kind of how to make an album from start to finish, and etiquette in the studio, and that sort of thing. A couple of years ago, the music program at the junior college decided to start having these audio classes at the Petaluma campus. And I found myself in the role of managing the studio design and the studio build at the Petaluma campus. And so I've been able to kind of see it from the ground up, including gear and acoustics and all the infrastructure. So that has been a real pleasure for me. I've been able to really, from the ground up, pick all of the tools that I feel like are not only the industry standard, but also a big spread of different types of preamps and different types of microphones with different capsules and different circuit topologies, and tube preamps, solid state preamps, API, Neve, all of the different flavors and colors that you're going to run into when you're out there in the commercial music industry making records. And that way we can get our students with their hands on what they're going to see, and they can get an idea of how these things sound and the differences between what a tube preamp sounds like and a solid state preamp sounds like, or a transformerless preamp sounds like. The studio itself is one main classroom with 30 workstations that are all set up with Pro Tools and Ableton and a handful of plugins and other software that you're likely to run into or use yourself if you're running a home studio. And so each student has access to a workstation where they can work on projects and do editing and mixing. And then at the back of the room is where we have the studio, and the studio is made up of a control room, which is acoustically designed, really great acoustic treatment in there. There's a window into the tracking room, which it's a smaller tracking room as far as recording studios go, but it's big enough to fit a full band in there. And again, the acoustics were really painstakingly designed to fit that size space. We also have another isolation booth. And so between the main classroom, the tracking room, the isolation booth, and the control room, we can do pretty comprehensive recordings in there. And we like to bring in bands from the community so that students have the experience of working in a situation where they're dealing with somebody who is expecting a real recording situation and expecting a level of professionalism, and really show students how to interact and create a positive, productive atmosphere for getting good creative energy and getting good takes out of a band. One of the things that I really love about this program is that it's at a junior college that invites all walks of life, and anybody from the community can come and be a part of these classes because they're affordable. Enrollment is pretty easy. We have great faculty and staff that can answer your questions and help you get enrolled in these classes. And so if you're into music production, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars to go to some technical institute and then end up in a bunch of debt when you come out of it. you can really get in and get working in a pretty high-end production facility for a good cost. And so I really, one of the things that I really appreciate about the junior college is just that it's affordable and accessible to all members of the community. And what that does is it brings in a wide variety of people into these classes. So age ranges are from high school to retirement. And we get people that are in bands and want to learn more about how live sound works or how to record their own band, or people that are just getting into hip hop production and beat making. Or I've had luthiers and software designers, professionals that are just trying to relearn the basics and get a refresher on how things work. And so we get this really nice spread of different people and different perspectives. And so I learn a lot because I have this diverse perspective from the students, and they can all teach me things, and then they can teach each other's things as well. And that's one of the things that I really love about the program. When you come to this program, you can expect to find classes that focus on sound design and Foley and audio for video, as well as how to produce your own music and sequencing, synthesizers, MIDI, topics like those that get you producing your own music from home. And then my classes, which focus on more of the commercial end and the live miking of instruments, setting up of bands, and tracking a live band in a studio setting. So we've got a nice spread of classes. And now our new class, which is the music business class that I'll be teaching at the Petaluma campus this fall, focuses on what do you do once you have a music product? How do you actually leverage that content to make money, or to make a career, or just to release it with a strategy that's effective? Even if you're not trying to make a career out of it, how do you just release your content in a effective, strategized way that makes it as impactful in the marketplace as possible? When you take these classes, you can expect to find a diverse array of topics that pertain to different professions in the audio production industry, and really get a solid foundation and make a lot of connections and meet people that you may end up working with in your professional career. And I've had students that have gone on to start recording studios, have started bands, have started record labels. And it's really great to see that when students come here, not only are they learning these skills, but they're actually making real world connections, either with the artists that come in that we record or with each other, and help lift each other up to become more powerful members of the audio production community. The other thing to know about the program is that it exists inside the music program. And we feel that if you're into music production, it's really important to know the foundational concepts of music theory and understand how arranging works, understand your scales and basic music theory concepts that can really make it so that when you're getting in there and you're trying to produce music, you've got that background that allows you to, really make a powerful, emotional piece of music. So it's not just about production. It can also, if you're interested, you can also go on and take more music classes and become more versed in music theory and those sorts of concepts as well. The way our program's set up is there's an intro class, and then the audio for video and more electronic music production pathway. And then there's my pathway, which is the music recording pathway. And so there's 2 classes in each of those pathways, an A and a B. And at any time you can take either the A or B class. We offer the A class at the Santa Rosa campus the same time that we offer the B class on the Petaluma campus. So we stagger them so all the classes are available at any given moment. And then those are all capped off with music business class at the end. And the Santa Rosa campus is nice because they have all of their music equipment set up in the music building. So there's the control room itself is a little bit small, but they have a great selection of gear there. And the control room is connected to several of the rooms inside the music building. So you can have a band set up in the choir room, or you can have a band set up in the band room, in these big, great sounding rooms that are filled with all kinds of instruments and things like that. So you can really see what it's like to mic different kinds of pianos or lots of different drum kits and just tools ready to go. at your disposal in those rooms. If you're watching this video, that means you're probably interested in taking these classes and joining us here at the audio production program. And I encourage you to reach out. You can find us online at the santarosa.edu website, and you can see all the different faculty members. We all have bios. You can read about us. You can email us directly. We'll respond to you and give you good information and help you decide whether or not this program's right for you.